our newest segment, Mulgrave here, with Teachers on Teaching, where we're hopefully sitting down with some teachers from time to time to talk a little bit about you guys and allow the community to get to know some of our staff and faculty a little bit better. So do you want to quickly introduce yourselves?
Sure. I am Ian Lee. I teach math for middle school grades 7 to 10.
My name is Ian Mak. I teach math and design also from like 7 through 10.
So where are you guys from? Are you guys from Vancouver, or did you grow up somewhere else?
I'm from Kelowna. I grew up in the Okanagan. I moved out here like 7 years ago for school and then started teaching out here.
I'm from Ontario. I grew up in Ottawa. I went to school in Toronto. That's where I met my then girlfriend, and she's from Vancouver, so I actually moved out to BC for her.
Oh, that's so
I know,
romantic.
right? Automatic win for me.
How do you find what are your approaches to teaching a subject like math?
I always try to approach math in like a very fun manner. It's like a safe place for everyone to kind of make mistakes, and I really encourage students just to have fun with it, laugh about it, joke about it, and just in the classroom, just roll with it. It's okay to make mistakes, and in doing so, by taking risks, you gain confidence. It's okay to learn, and in doing so, you gain confidence, you're more willing to take risks, and I think that's how we succeed in math, right? The ability to really take a problem and say like, okay, my first strategy didn't work, that's cool, it didn't work, so let's go with strategy number 2, and keep trying and trying and trying, and that's how I really approach math.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I agree with that too. Like, it's about building confidence at this stage, because there's so many kids that have this mindset of like, I can't do it. I already know I can't do it. I'm not going to learn it. I'm not going to try learning it. So that's kind of the main obstacle, I think, and the biggest obstacle is to help them gain that confidence. And so to that end, I think we have a similar thing in that when we're teaching, we're very conscious of the fact that we're a three-dimensional people. Like, we're not just these computer brains that can figure everything out and do everything right the first try. We make mistakes, that's okay. Right. I make a mistake on the board. Or yeah, just that, you know, I'm a person and I have other things going on. I'm not just a math whiz. Like, anyone can do math, you just have to practice at it and believe that you can do it and you'll figure it out.
Right. Was there a teacher or somebody kind of as you were growing up that maybe inspired you to become a math teacher, or maybe teaching, or like when did you fall in love with math? Is there kind of a story in there somewhere with how you got into this whole career?
I had a teacher in high school, Pete McCall, Rutland Senior Secondary, and he was my psychology teacher, and he would do these things called Circle of Trust, where everyone would move their desks into a giant circle, and he would spend like an entire class or like half a class, and everyone would just talk about like one thing going wrong with their life, one thing going good with their life. And it was just about building that connection and that safe space of like, okay, we all are people, we've all got stuff going on, so there's no judgment because we've all got our stories. And he would open up about stuff, and we just really built like a safe environment that like people felt. Like, I know people overuse that word as safe, but like it was a big thing that like, okay, now I can ask questions, now I can take risks, I can do this presentation, I can do whatever. And so that's what got me into teaching. And then I was good at math, and everyone hates math, so I was like, I could switch that, I can make that better.
Right.
That's me.
For me, it had to be my grade 11, 12 science teacher, biology teacher actually. It was Mr. Vesey, and he stepped out of his kind of teacher bubble a little bit, in which when he found out that a couple of us as science students, we were really, really into the biology, and we had normal dissections such as like, you know, a cricket and like an earthworm and frog and stuff, but he pulled it out of his own pocket, but he got like really interesting stuff for us. And the biggest piece that really shook me as a teacher, like as a student then, was he actually bought like you know, like a little dogfish shark, which was it was crazy. And again, it's not part of the curriculum or anything like that, but he sacrificed a little bit of his own time and his own finances to genuinely give it to us students, just to say like, hey man, like come in at lunch and your own free time and just kind of like, you know, have fun dissecting this. And it was such a touching moment in which like a teacher never did that kind of like for any student, and just for like a select group of students, because he knew that we were so passionate about it. That really kind of ignited that spark for me. It's just like, wow, that's that's life changing.
I'm going to shift it up a little bit. What about an actor that might play you in a movie? If they were doing a biopic of your movie, who would you want casted
boy.
as yourself?
That's a hard one. I
Or
don't
maybe
think
each other. What about each other? If you were casting Ian Mack,
Yeah.
who would you cast to play
Oh,
him?
you be careful about this. I've already got my answer for you.
You know what? I think I would myself play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would put myself, and I'd go in front of the camera and says like, no one else can do Ian Mack except me.
Oh, very confident and very ambitious of you.
Yes. Because then I can ruin your image and it'll all be on me.
Oh, wow. I was going to go with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know? You know?
What are you trying to say about my hair, man?
I'm saying you could go good with bald.
Thanks.
Get some tattoos on the arms.
Awesome. So we do have a couple last things to wrap up with to kind of try to settle this whole debate on Ian versus Ian. So the first thing that we did
It's not going to get settled.
Yeah.
is I have a
Oh, no.
quick math sheet.
No, I'm going to get this.
So it's very simple. I think I was taking it off of a primary grades, like, 1 to
matter.
6
Do you remember your primary math?
online website. They're the exact same. Okay. Same Bic pencil. 0.7
How much lead- how much
millimeter,
lead is in
same
his?
amount of lead. So there's no excuses. I made sure not to bring pens so that we could,
Are you
mess up on the
left-handed
writing.
or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
It is all operations. Okay,
Okay.
multiplication, subtraction, division, addition.
Is it
Uh,
combined? Is there bed mass
It is.
involved? Grade 7?
Can you let him finish?
You're really testing my math knowledge now. I was in theater school, man. So the challenge is, of course, whoever can finish it faster.
I'm gonna get
I have Adam over here behind the camera. He actually has an answer sheet over there, so he'll be able to check the answers afterwards. So we can give you kind of the
So
final
it's-
tally, and we're going to say 1 second is added for every incorrect answer.
Only 1 second?
1 second per incorrect answer.
I'm gonna get-
Actually, let's do, how long does it take you guys to do
So
like
why
simple
would,
math?
because like here's what
If
I've
you
got.
just like did zeros all the way
That's
around
what I
and
was gonna
handed in, would it
say,
really be
like-
faster?
Yeah, it would be way faster.
All right, we'll add 5 seconds just
Per
because you're gonna be
question?
like,
That's better, okay.
5 seconds per question, so don't flip it over yet.
Yeah,
you, can
that's
take,
where my-
you can take your pencils out and make sure your lead is ready to go.
That's where my brain instantly went to.
25 questions,
1
I
second
believe.
each. I'm just gonna get 25 seconds.
All right.
Do you-
and
do
you-
Adam-
do you
Adam's
need a
looking
time
on the
handicap?
timer.
You know-
Adam's looking on the timer here, testing your lead. Okay, ready? You got a timer out,
Is it
Adam?
just one page? Is it just one page?
One page, I think it's 25 questions.
It should be
all
noted that
basic
I'm
math.
left-handed and he's right-handed, so we're gonna.
So you might have a little bit of,
There's gonna be some contact. Is this a full contact sport?
brains,
Wanna
we're
get-
testing brains,
Concussion?
testing
What's going
brains
on?
and bronze today. You ready, Adam? All right, so ready, set, go.
Oh crap! That's adding.
A few moments later.
Done.
All right, add the extra seconds.
Oh God.
Done.
All right, so Adam,
think
did
I
you
got- I
get
got- I got
the
too many
times for
I
both?
think I got too many wrong.
It was,
Well, we'll see, because we're gonna, you got the answer key there, so Adam's gonna double check
you got
your
one wrong,
scores.
That means that
And he will tally up an extra 5 seconds per.
Yeah.
And one last thing that we also did, thank you guys for doing that, is we went around to the students today and decided to ask them some questions. Actually, one question in particular that we decided to go on. It was the question that we figured really summed up this whole debate on Ian versus Ian. And this question was to the students, who would you want on your team during a zombie apocalypse and why?
Oh, this is what the kids were talking
So
about.
we have a little video here, which hopefully, so you guys can see some of their answers there.
Okay.
Definitely Mr. Mac because he's way more funny. And I know I'd be laughing as I die, so I'd rather that
Very
than not
good,
be laughing
very
as
good,
I
Avery,
die.
very good.
Mr. Mac because he's a design teacher. We might all be able to work together and we can build something. I'd choose Mr. Mac
Of course.
because
Oh,
he has some zombie
raining
skills.
down the
He
three
would
pointers.
go through a zombie apocalypse. He has a bunch of like ninja moves.
I want Mr. Reed on my team
You're the
because,
worst. Thank you.
first of all, he
Thank you,
also
man.
likes K-pop, so I'm bored.
Mr. Mac because I'm in his homeroom and he's always awesome. His humor, his ability to act as a human shield.
Mr. Mac because he would throw in with
my
his
goodness.
with
I
his really
almost
bad
did that.
puns, but
This
they're
is like
good
a
puns,
mercy
but
rule.
bad. Mr. Lee because he's like a ninja.
Teach me.
He's a ninja?
And you channel his anger and disappointment towards my mascots into the zombie.
I choose Mr. Mac because he teaches PT, so he can probably like
Oh boy.
I would have Mr. Mac on my team
Oh,
because
no.
I actually had a full-on
That's how many days
conversation
there are in a
about how
week.
we would survive the
Yikes.
zombie apocalypse. me because he helps me problem solve.
Surely he's taller. He's got thicker skin.
That's double point.
He can get through bars.
Mr. Mac, he's got the muscles. That muscle.
Mr. Mac, because we can use him as bait.
Mac or Lee? Mr. Mac. We're gonna go with Lee because I know him to be very, very selfless with all the students. He's helping all the time. So at one certain point when I might be sick and he might be sick, he might sacrifice himself so that I can survive.
Are you saying Mr. Mac is not selfless and doesn't help his students?
Not at all. I'm saying if I had to eat Mr. Lee, there's more meat on his body that would allow me to survive longer than Mr. Mac.
All right, so there are final scores.
All right.
However, I do have to tell you that the most common reasons that were given were your bad jokes and to use you as human bait or human shield.
I heard a lot of good jokes. And a lot of
All right, so I think Adam here has our final
can't believe
results.
you got that. You're so smart.
All right, so Mr. Lee finished in 1 minute, 15 seconds, 0.17. And Mr. Mac finished in
0.17.
Oh, it's milliseconds.
milliseconds.
Oh, wow.
And Mr. Mac finished in 1 minute, 21 seconds, 0
But that's
milliseconds.
not true. I finished first.
So Mr. Lee
Oh, I
ended
got
up
you.
taking the championship. So I think split between our math competition and our student interview, it's a 1-1 tie, and I think that's a great place to leave us on.
I feel like you need to weigh certain, based off our own teaching philosophies, I feel like the student's opinion weighs greater than our individual
Maybe
math
what we can
ability.
do then is come back at the end of the year once students have taken their final exams, and maybe they might have some new insight into this rivalry. So thank you guys so much for joining us for our first edition of Teachers on Teaching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have been a great sport, and good luck in the classrooms.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.